Oh gosh, Seth is back and ready for action, as he always is. We are doing Dark Souls Remastered. I asked you guys what you'd be most excited for me to be doing first, and I put the Dark Souls trilogy on that list. I think this won most votes or something like that. I'll still do the other stuff eventually, but yeah. So I did actually have a few speedrun ideas back in the day for this, which I have on here. I have a Grave Lord sword. Good lord. Speedrun. It was okay. I think it ended actually pretty well. And I did a Soul Level 1 speedrun-ish thing for a charity event. YouTube didn't keep the whole VOD, but, you know, not really a live streamer. That was just for charity and for fun, so not a big deal. What is there to say? I love the Soul series. I haven't played Elden Ring. I haven't played Sekiro. I have played Bloodborne. I love how I've played Bloodborne an entirety of one time in one sitting with a friend, since I don't own any consoles. So, yeah, I love the Soul series. Longtime channel viewers probably know this, but, you know, my cat's named Frampt for a reason. So, yeah, I love the Soul series. Now, this is a tricky one because I have a weird, thing with this game. This is a hard one to record, but I have an idea. So because I mainly speedrun Dark Souls 1, I'm not really as good as I used to be, and plus many of the strats have changed. I figured, well, if I speedrun it, it's not really the same as a proper Let's Play. But if I Let's Play it, it's going to look weird because I'm used to speedrunning. I figured, why don't I just do a few different types of characters, all, you know, like this, not live stream, but, you know, all like this. And I figured, why not we just go with a hybrid for our first character. This is one of the most amazing screens in game history. Alright, we're gonna call ourselves Yuka. So, I'm just gonna go with a Pyromancer. Now, you're probably like, but why? I want to go with a Pyromancer because Black Bun. We all know this is how I play the game. I was tempted to do a speed run, but I'm like, no, that's too crazy complex. We'll do speed runs later. Soul Level 1, I still need more practice doing that. The live stream one went pretty well, but obviously I have to brush up. And Pyromancer is a nice medium sort of thing. What I want to do is we'll get this Pyromancer up to New Game, and we'll clear it, do New Game Plus, and then we'll do a Soul Level 1, then we'll do a Grave Lord Sword, and then if I can, a Black Knight Halberd speedrun, and then I'll do a couple other characters too, because I have the most experience with this game. Now, I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna skip the cutscenes. I won't skip the main cutscene. We'll watch it. But, so what we're gonna be doing for this character is just not Soul Level 1, but so if you don't know how that works, Soul Level 1 run category is you choose Pyromancer and you don't level up at all. It's not as bad as you think it sounds, because a lot of your damage in the Souls games comes from your gear, and mitigation can also come from gear, especially in Soul Level 1. So, Pyromancer is just fun. I mean, I myself am not a Pyro main. I quite like strength builds. They're really fun. We'll do a Sorcerer eventually too. Why not? Because I have to remember where everything's at for Sorcerer, because I'm not as familiar with Sorcerer builds. You have to go, like, you gotta do a lot of stuff to make that work, really. Pyromancer, you can just get going. So let's go ahead and watch this beautiful cutscene that I've seen a billion times. So, Oh boy.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright. I think that's one of the very few cutscenes I can remember that actually happens. So, first things first, I don't really use all that much armor in the Souls games. Even with a strength build, I've just never really bothered with it because I prefer speed. So yeah, I'm not going to go super hardcore in-depth into the lore. But first things first, I always do this. You take off all your items because this will give you the most distance covered. I'll try and give some speedrunning tips and tricks on the way there. Keep in mind, a lot of these things are outdated. I haven't looked at most of the new speedrunning strats in a long time. I'm talking like 2016 maybe is the last time I seriously did it. So yeah, Pyromancer is very straightforward. It's not very easy, but it's also not very hard. Can we double fist you? Good. That's all I really wanted to do. Oh, I forget he can do that. Anyways, yeah, so what we're gonna do, in my mind, is we're gonna do as much speedy, quick stuff as I can. We're gonna skip through dialogue because I'm not really that bothered by it. You can, like, read that on your own time. I'm not gonna sit there for the hundreds and 6,000 years, so if you want to learn how to speedrun the game, just spamming the use key is how you skip through Oscar's dialogue there. And mind you, I know a lot about the Souls trilogy. I've played all the way up until 3, and I just sort of lost a little bit of interest after that. I mean, I think the main thing as well with the Souls series is, you might be like, Seth, you're taking so much damage, what are you, a scrub? No. I've played so much of this series that it's just like, I can't do it. Anyways, I can't explain a lot of it, but what you do there to do this is simply jump by hitting your strong attack plus forward together, and you'll jump off the balcony. And what that's going to do is when you jump like that and then you spam your attack key, that lets you get a basically double hit on the Asylum Demon there. And so what you do in a real deal speed run, if I remember correctly, is you choose Bandit, you two-hand your weapon, you jump off the top of that thing, and then you just fucking drop on people. It basically takes, I think, 5 hits with your axe after that, and it's pretty much gravy. So, yeah, we'll watch... Oh, I've already skipped a cutscene, what am I saying? Oh, you get the idea. This is going to be so hard, I'll only do the ones I know for a fact, so... What's there to say about the Souls series, man? I mean, this game is so important to me and so many millions of others of people. Because it really is. It's just a super well-polished game. The Souls series is one of my favorites. And like I said, I want to show you guys how to actually beat the game quickly, as well as just, you know, some tips and tricks that I know. So in a speedrun, you'll use your humanity here. What you want to do if you're going to go for a Black Knight Halberd is use your humanity there. So what that'll do is when you use humanity, it actually gives you a soft luck upgrade. I think in Dark Souls 3 they added luck as a hard stat, but in this game it's a soft stat through humanity, and I think there's a few other items that can increase your drop chances on things. So what I'm doing here is using the master key that we chose. This lets us get all the way over here, which is quite a ways away in the world. Now, this is where it gets weird. So I'm used to doing this with Bandit, which has a way better shield, and I've never been good at doing this. But what I've been picking up so far is just little, like, souls. So those souls are essentially what you'd use in a speed run to give yourself some extra, you know, levels that you need for certain items and equipment. Not picking up the other items there, because if you do, it'll actually aggro that undead dragon, and that's a real pain in the ass. If you're like, oh, skipping past all the enemies, don't worry, we'll kill everything before we go into New Game Plus. I promise. It's very fun. I have an idea of how I'm going to do this, so... Alright, this Drake is an absolute unit. What you want to do is just do what I did there. When you see him reel his head back, that's when you want to dodge to the right. You want to be at the right angle, by the way, otherwise you'll get knocked off by the tail. And I forgot to mention, we're using the remastered port because vanilla almost said Diablo. Vanilla Dark Souls 2 is very, very jank. You had to use DS Fix, which was... it was okay. It wasn't the greatest. So, also in a speedrun, what you'd be doing is crunching your souls during that. That way you can just skip past a lot of it. Now, let's see if I can get a Black Knight Halberd. This is the most fun part here. So, when you want to get a Black Knight Halberd quickly, this is all luck-based. What you want to do is you'd be using Bandit. You could actually do it a lot easier, so... Ow, good lord. That's fine. We're not doing a speedrun or anything, and I'm not really planning on doing anything crazy. You'd be like, oh, you died doing a speedrun trick, sort of thing. So, it doesn't matter. I'm not really bothered by it. So what you want to do is, if you're using Pyromancer, you want to use the Grass Crest shield that's got much more durability. So, let's see if I can do it. No, that's not how you do it, Seth. Alright, so let's just... Come on. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, old pal. Old Black Knight Halberd friend. Let's not deal with you right now. How about that? Ah, what the hell. I'll do it. I love fighting this guy. He's good times. Ow. So what you want to do normally is you want to parry him, but he was being a little problematic, so I couldn't exactly do it. Right there. What you want to do is kind of lure him over here. And this makes him go, what the hell? And then you can just blammo him right off the edge. So I heard him die. Yeah, we didn't get it that time. So, with 4 humanity, usually you can crop 3 from your, well, old Dark Souls. You could do 3. This version, you can actually select how many you want to use at once. In the old version, it was really nice because you could just do that. Sorry, the new version is way better. You can actually crunch more than 1 at once. So you just do all those on the elevator. That soft luck stat would actually give you the ability to use it. And that would make your luck higher. And when you kill that Black Knight, you have a higher chance of getting a, like, good old-fashioned Black Knight Halberd. So if you want to get a Black Knight Halberd, it's totally luck, is what I'm trying to explain. Really poorly there. So if you want to get a really early one, you can also do Tomb of Giants, but that one's a little bit more risky, and you gotta kill Pindle. I'm gonna do this every time. Pinwheel, sorry. So, another handy-dandy thing you can do here is, since these guys are basically just plants, we can use a fireball on them. There's 2 that always spawn when you come up through this direction. I got 1. That's good. So, in a speedrun, you can use purple moss. It's not required, but it is helpful. You can use purple moss to basically get the poison down, so you can use humanities to heal on Quelaag. It's one way of doing it. It's a really old strategy. It's not really that useful anymore. So, first thing we're going to do on this, however, is we're going to start popping our souls. I should have done this a little bit earlier, but it's okay. So, obviously this is the remastered version, so they have that prevention glitch. So in old Dark Souls, you could fucking dupe things really easy, so... Alright, we're gonna go ahead and purchase... is it 9? I think it's 9. So, then we're gonna go ahead and reinforce our hand axe. I think I should be able to get 2 more. Boom. Perfect. So, we've basically already got our hand axe up a bit more. So this is going to be a Titanite path, and we're going to kill as many bosses and everything as I can, which is not something I normally do, but just for expediency's sake, we'll do it. I don't like doing Titanite path because Capra Demon is just gross and yucky, but we're going to be using Pyromancies for the most part. Now, what I'm doing is still valid for a Soul Level 1 sort of thing if you want to do it that way. But we'll get into it later. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and kill these Hollow Knights. These guys specifically with the armor and everything on. You can see they actually can drop Titanite shards. Not a big deal that I wasted a little bit of, you know, my souls on it. It's not a big deal. We'll buy a weapon kindle box or smith box later. So this guy right here, you can also get a free shard off of him, which is another thing I could have probably just done for funsies, but you know, whatever. And you might notice by now, Seth doesn't like to roll, or sorry, lock on. It's because locking on is something I don't normally like to do. I just don't do it very often. I should mention as well, I'm not actually using a controller, I'm using my keyboard. So, alright. This next thing we're going to get is going to be the basement key. Now, Baldur Knights ain't no joke, especially since we're only soul level 1. And like I said, we'll get all the items later. We're just getting the bare essentials to get the character started here. Now, they can parry you. They're one of the few enemies in the game that can actually do that. And I don't want to deal with that. So, to not get absolutely shreked here, I'm going to do that. Simply walking past these guys. Chandler Bing up there can absolutely blast your ass with Soul Spear. So, or Soul whatever it is he's using. He's pretty annoying, not a big deal. But right now we've already basically got ourselves a, what, +3 or 2 weapon. And we're still at soul level 1. So when people go, oh, how hard is it to actually beat the game at soul level 1? It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's definitely not something you can just do the first time you play the game. You need a lot more game knowledge to do it. And I really do struggle. It's like the Zero Mission problem. So for Metroid Zero Mission, I've played it so many times that I don't know what it's like to play it normally anymore, which is kind of depressing, but it's true. So what I grabbed there was some Homeward Bones. These basically teleport us to a checkpoint. If you never played the Souls games, bonfires are checkpoints. Ow. Now, you do not have to get that large soul. So all these little soul consumables I'm picking up right now, in the very early areas, like Lost Souls, we'll see what it says. It's like Small Soul or whatever like that, right? Soul of a Lost Undead. These things are absolutely garbage. What you want to do with these is just simply feed them to Frampt, because he gives you more souls in return. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go actually kill the Taurus demon. And this is so weird because I'm so used to doing a speedrun that I realize I can break, I can have fun, I can take the time and explain things. So, ow. I also have a Firekeeper soul with me that I could use to up my Estus flask, but not really worried about it. This early, it's not a problem yet. Keyword there, yet. You can kill these Hollow Knights as well, but I'm not going to do that for too much, because I only need a little bit of, like, souls. So if you're unfamiliar with how the Souls games works, I am getting just blasted by dumb crap. This is embarrassing. They have a fun, kind of interesting mechanic for XP. Your XP is measured in souls, so if you have, like I have right now, 1,200 souls, right? I feel like it's so common knowledge because the Soul series is so popular, but there's probably people who've never seen these games before. If I die, I can go back and pick up my souls, but if I die again, they're gone forever. So what these are is basically a liquid experience system. I can level up from these, I can buy stuff. So they function both as money and as currency, or sorry, as like XP. As you keep leveling, more and more souls required, higher tier items are more expensive, obviously. Now, the thing that like everyone freaks out about is they go, oh shit, I lost like 10k souls. Don't worry about it. That's all I can tell you. So, if you want to get really cheesy early damage, you can grab this resin right here. Resins are basically just buffs in the Souls games. There's not really any difference between all the games. They're all pretty much consistent if I remember correctly. Now, this is where someone can go, oh, you're not blocking, what are you doing? I really don't block a whole lot in the Souls games. I'm not going to do this, but you can do this little back step, and you'll actually iframe through that. You'll still take damage, but you'll actually go through that barrel. It's a really cool little cheesy thing you can show all your friends. Tell them Seth taught you how to do it. I don't know how many dudes are behind me right now, and I'm a little nervous, but not a big deal. So we got a chunk. That's cool. So let's go ahead and put Homeward Bone and our humanity on here. I usually keep my bar like this for the early game, and then I put the resin and purple moss on my bar. So we're going to go use our resin. You only get 3 of these to start with on my axe, which I have a little bit of a plus skill on, which is great. In Souls 1, come on, buddy. Yay! He's so happy. Taurus Demon is a joke, by the way. He is not hard at all. And you might be like, Seth, if you used lock-on, this would make this fight easier. I don't need lock-on, trust me. I've played this game so many times, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, we've killed the first main boss that most people go to first. Usually you're going to do that. So I'm going to run over here. What this little runny thing I just did is going to do is it's going to spawn that Drake over there. It's going to kill these dudes. We're going to get some free souls out of it. If you're a scrub, you'll sit there and farm those souls over and over, but I am not a scrub. I'm a man. I don't really care if you do it. So we're not going to do Lower Berg. Not right now. Not till I absolutely need to do it. So, next thing I'm going to do is... The hell? Why is that shut? I don't know why it's shut. That's weird. Alright, so the first thing you'd normally do is you'd not be killing that boss in a... what's it called? Gravelord sword speedrun, which I'll show you guys later on. It's not very hard. You can do that at any level. I'm gonna kill this guy. Gone mad? Why me? Because you have an item I need. So we killed this merchant here for the Uchi Katana, if you want to use that. He also drops the residence key, which we need eventually. Essentially, I have broken the game pretty damn hard right now. It's not supposed to be this easy right now, but I have basically trivialized it. So, everyone goes on and on about how Dark Souls is a hard game, and you know what? You're not wrong. It is challenging in a lot of areas. However, this is the thing that always separates good games, in my opinion, is everyone can beat them differently. Dark Souls has so many ways to actually beat it that it's just, the difficulty is 100% in your own kind of ballpark after a while, really. So what I'm going to do here is jump. So this kind of skips a lot of the lower portion you're supposed to do. I'll do all the areas, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. That gives you a humanity early if you want to do that. You don't have to go in this late to do it, but you know what I mean. Right? Right. You want to see how Seth does the game, how he beats the games quickly. So, first things first, I'm going to go back to the bonfire. I'll break the video after we kill Gargoyle, because why not? I like how I say Gargoyle instead of Gargoyles, because they're just not that bad. And this is also kind of pretentious of me to say, because I have over like 1,000-something hours across all 3 of these games. So it's a little bit, you know, a little bit stuffy to go, of course it's not that hard, but I realize there's a lot of people that have never done this, so this is a little bit risky what I'm doing. You're not supposed to be doing this nakedly. I still haven't even leveled up, which is, to most people, an absolutely terrible idea, but to me, I'm like, oh, what's the big deal? What's the matter? All you use a pencil pushing make your arms weak. So, we're gonna kill the gargoyles next. Now, there's people that'll play this game and say you can't use shields, you can't use parries, you can't use backstabs, you can't use spells. You know what? The best thing to do? Tell those people, fuck you, man. Play the game how you want to play it. There is some incorrect ways to play this game, I will say that, but it's not gonna hurt you if you use... I used the thing that mitigates the damage. There is this weird elitism with the Souls games, and it's because a lot of the people that play it tend to be like sweaty neckbeards that have never actually played a hard game in their life. And yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. So what I'm going to do here is 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Then I'm going to jump. Oh, God! No, we're not going to jump. We're not going to jump at all. Oh, man, I whiffed that one. Alright, so these guys are buffed. They're essentially a one-shot, which is really dangerous. I've screwed this up in a bad way. Alright, so Chandler Bing over there, what he's going to do is actually buff these guys up, and I don't want to deal with that shit. So, I could easily save and quit, debuff them, but I'm going to try and not save and quit as much as I can, because I feel like save and quitting in this kind of environment that's not a speedrun is kind of cheesy, but I'll take liberties where I can. So, this is why everyone goes, oh, Dark Souls is a return to form of hard games where enemies are very dangerous. And you just want to disregard people like that. They probably have no idea what they're talking about. The Souls games are challenging, but I would not call them a rite of passage in terms of difficulty. I've played games that are way harder than this my whole life, basically. I don't even think Dark Souls 1's the hardest. I think 3 is probably the hardest, but it's got, every game's different. Everyone's got a different idea of what difficult is. I would not say this game is as hard as people make it out to be, though. It came out at the right time, I think, for sure. But I would not call it that brutal. So, I'll not skip this boss cutscene, I guess. Why not? People like these things. Alright, so gargoyles are easy. Just roll underneath, chop his tail off. 1, 2. Okay. What the hell? Why is he already active? Okay. That's not supposed to happen at all. Okay. I'm a little confused because they're not supposed to do that. Okay. I guess I deserved that one. This is what I get for watching the cutscene, isn't it? They're not supposed to do that at all. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to have their health drop down to half on the first one, and then the second one spawns in. I have no earthly idea why that one was already aggro. Okay. That's fine. That kind of screwed things up a little bit, but we're not getting too butthurt about it. This is not a speed run. This is not anything but showing you how I play the game, and since you voted for it, it's the hardest game ever, right? I do miss the hyperbole of when people were like, the Souls games are the hardest thing ever, and I'm like, no, they're tough. Or like the idiots that will say, Dark Souls is just like life. It doesn't care what you think. It'll beat you up. It'll push you down. And I just think these people have never left their room. Likely. So, doesn't really matter. But nah. That was ridiculous. I don't know what the hell that was all about. They're supposed to have, like, you know, not that happen? Okay. So, apparently, I just had the worst luck ever, and they spawned immediately into Phase 2. That was interesting. I forgot to mention there's no mods or anything. I'm not using anything crazy. So, that was embarrassing, man. Holy shit. I mean, normally, I'd be using, like, BKH or, you know, something a little bit more tanky than just a simple hand axe, but no biggie. So, just jump past him. You can slam jam him. Looks like they're going to take 3 hits to stun. There we go. You see, this is what it's supposed to be like. I am not going to say that was a skill issue for dying that early. That was ridiculous. See, this is how it's supposed to work. That's how they're supposed to die, but whatever. Alright, so that was fun. Okay, I don't know what that was all about. I swear to God, it was probably just because I watched the cutscene. That was just a mess. I was like, okay, cool, here we go. And then all of a sudden, oh, no. No, that ain't happening. So, the beginning goal of the game is to ring the first 2 bells of awakening. And that's supposed to summon Kingseeker Frampt, who tells you what you're supposed to do, and, you know, why not? I'll show the cutscenes off that I remember where they're at. I'm so used to skipping these. Okay. So, that's the first of 2. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a thing here that you don't need to do, but I'm just simply doing it because I want to make sure I don't screw this up. So first things first, we got to get the most important gesture in the game. Well, what is it? And we're going to buy 1 purging stone because, trust me, I want it. This is not required, but because I am using not a speedrun character, I don't know if I'm going to get cursed, so we'll do this. Now, let's actually do another little bit of a cheesy thing that you probably won't know you can do, but I'll show you how to do it anyways. So once you kill the gargoyles, it spawns Lautrec over here. So just kick, which is plus forward and attack. You can save and quit the game. Now this is something that is really handy to know how to do. This gives you 5 humanity and the Ring of Favor and Protection, which this is basically just like a ton of extra stats. This is great. So when you do that, what it does is it basically skips Lautrec's quest and acts like you killed him. So, yeah, you're not supposed to do that, like, at all. We'll go human, why not? I guess I got that when I was... Yeah, I got that trying to heal on gargoyles. Surprise dual gargoyles that just came out of nowhere. That was great. I also used our Firekeeper Soul to get the +1 Estus Flask, which goes up to 5 in this game, I think. Pretty sure it's 5. It might be 7. It's been a while, man, since I've done it. So, now we have 11 humanity to play with, a twin humanity from the boss fight, and we're not done just yet. This is weird to see cutscenes, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so used to just skipping all the cutscenes. But since this is for the YouTube fun, we're gonna watch the cutscenes. And like I said, if you're like, oh, but you're skipping past items, and no, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna skip past items for long. What I'm gonna do is get up to Gwyn, and then go back and backtrack, do all the DLC. That's what we're gonna do for this character. That way we get the full experience of the whole game, and no one can call me a scrub for doing it, right? Plus, why not? I might as well get this up to a +5 while I'm here. And we'll learn a gesture. We'll get the hoorah! Cool. And boom, there we go. We have a +5 weapon now, and we're gonna go ahead and purchase a weaponsmith box while I'm here. Don't get yourself killed. Oh, I won't. Trust me. Probably will. I can already tell. So, we have 12k souls to play around with right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them into Vitality first, up to 20... I was gonna say 25, but we'll go 20, and then we'll put the rest into... All Resistance! No. We're gonna put it into Attunement first. What's our first one at? Okay, that's perfect. We have just enough. So yeah, we got a new spell slot, and bam. See you guys in the next one. We'll do the other fun stuff. I'll see you then.